The rain was pouring when Daniel saw her again, sitting by the back door of the small diner, her frail body wrapped in a thin blanket, her wheelchair dripping wet. Every night, at exactly 9, she'd show up there, quietly waiting, eyes lowered, hands trembling, as if hoping for someone to notice her. She never begged. She just waited. When the staff tossed out leftovers, she'd softly ask, "Excuse me, can I please take that?" "It's for my brother." Daniel had seen her a dozen times. A single dad himself, he knew what hunger looked like. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, often pointed at the girl and whispered, "Daddy, she looks cold, can we give her my sandwich next time?" He always nodded, but tonight was different. Something about the girl's eyes stopped him, a mix of shame and silent strength, like someone who'd forgotten how to hope. And that night, when she disappeared down a dark alley after collecting scraps, Daniel made a decision that would change both their lives. He followed her. The alley stretched behind the city's broken blocks, littered with shadows. He watched as the girl wheeled herself through puddles, her trembling hands barely able to push the chair. At one point, she stopped to rest under a flickering streetlight, her lips blue from the cold. He was about to step forward when a sound froze him, a weak cough. A child's cough. The girl reached into a cardboard box hidden behind old crates, and out crawled a little boy, maybe 4 or 5, with messy hair and hollow eyes. She smiled at him, softly, painfully, and tore a piece of soggy bread in half. "Eat, Sammy," she whispered. "It's fresh tonight." Daniel's throat tightened. She wasn't asking for herself. She was feeding her little brother. He stayed hidden, watching as she tucked the boy under her blanket and hummed a broken lullaby. Rain soaked through her hair, her wheelchair squeaked as she shivered, but she kept holding him. Daniel couldn't move. It was like watching someone still believe in light after losing everything. That night, he drove home in silence. Lily was already asleep, hugging her teddy bear. He sat beside her bed and whispered, "You were right, sweetheart. She's more than she seems." The next day, he couldn't stop thinking about her. Between his 2 jobs, delivery driver by day, cleaner by night, his life was already hanging by a thread. But every time he saw food wasted, he saw her face again. Finally, he packed a small bag, sandwiches, soup, an old blanket. After work, he went looking for her. She wasn't by the diner this time. Hours later, he found her in the alley again, her hands blue, her brother asleep on her lap. She tried to smile when she saw him. "I'm sorry, sir. We don't mean to bother anyone." Daniel knelt beside her. "You're not bothering anyone. My name's Daniel. I brought something for you both." She hesitated, pride flickering in her tired eyes. "Thank you," she whispered finally. "But I don't like taking charity." "It's not charity," he said gently. "It's dinner. From one parent to another." She looked down, confused. "Parent?" He nodded toward her brother. "You care for him like one." Tears filled her eyes, silent but heavy. "He's all I have," she said. "After our parents died, no one would take us in. I used to work at a laundry, but after the accident, my legs," she stopped, swallowing hard. "Now I just try to keep him alive." That night, Daniel stayed with them until dawn, listening to her story, how she was once top of her class, how a hit and run left her paralyzed, how every shelter turned them away because she had a child. By morning, he'd made a decision. "You're coming with me," he said. She tried to refuse, but he didn't let her. He carried her wheelchair into his car, bundled the boy in his coat, and took them home. Lily woke up to find them in the living room, and her first words were, "Daddy, she's the girl from the diner." Then she ran to the little boy and handed him her favorite toy. For the first time in years, the girl smiled. Days passed. Daniel arranged for her to see a doctor, helped her file for support, and even got her an old laptop so she could work from home. He learned her name, Emma. She was quiet but kind, and Lily adored her. Slowly, their small apartment began to feel like something he'd forgotten existed, a home filled with laughter again, but just when things started to heal, the past came knocking. One afternoon, while Daniel was at work, two men in black suits arrived. Neighbors said they looked like lawyers. They asked for Emma. When Daniel came home, she was sitting on the couch, pale, holding a letter. "They found me," she whispered. "The driver who hit me, he was a millionaire. His lawyers, they're offering a settlement." She looked up at him, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I never wanted money. I just wanted someone to see me. To see us." Daniel took her hand. "We saw you, Emma. Before any of this." Months later, with the settlement, she bought a small home near the park. Daniel helped her move, even built a ramp by hand. When she turned to thank him, she said softly, "You followed me that night because you thought I needed saving. But Daniel, it was you who needed to be found." He smiled, eyes glistening. "Maybe we both did." The video ends on that quiet moment, two broken souls who found family in each other. The camera pans out as Emma, now teaching online, laughs while Lily and Sammy play in the background, because sometimes, the people we pity the most are the ones who remind us what love truly means. And sometimes, following a stranger into the rain, leads you straight home.